World. This is John Pinto, your roving realtor, spirits taster, with my favorite spirits guide, Chris, at the Bar Club on First Street in downtown Napa. What do you have for us today, Chris?
We have the Japanese cocktail. This is a classic cocktail from the late 1876, I believe, when this came out.
When I was a little boy.
Yes. Well, long before I was born, I'll tell you that. What this is basically like an old-fashioned, except the bourbon has been replaced with brandy. There is a myth behind this, or at least the story of how this was created. Apparently, in a bar in New York City, a Japanese gentleman, which in that time was a rare thing to see, because Japan was rather closed off, entered a New York bar, and he said, "This is what I want. I want brandy, I want orgeat, which is an almond syrup,
yes, and
aromatic bitters." And of course, the bartenders were like, "I don't know what this is," but they made it anyway. He drank it, he paid up, and he left. And they said, "Hey, this is really, really good. What should we call it?" "Hey, we'll just call it a Japanese cocktail."
Very good.
And that's the story behind.
Very good. Well, I think we need to pour it and drink it. Here we go.
64 proof.
64 proof.
That's 32% alcohol.
Oh,
We don't play around when we make our cocktails.
Okay, very good. Very
So
good.
what we call this is a bartender in glass. This is nothing like the canned stuff that you're going to get at the store. That canned stuff is going to be mostly sugar and very little alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to say, we make a big vat of this. It's like a giant's cup, which I could come in and drink it just like you're drinking it. As far as I know, we're the only people in the United States who actually make this.
A Japanese cocktail.
As far as something that's pre-made for something.
Very good. Well, stop yakking and slide that over to me.
Alrighty then.
What the hell? I mean, we're here to drink, right?
There you're here to drink.
Very good. So come by the Bar Club, see my buddy Chris, and our his charming associate Juan Curial.
He's no longer with us, unfortunately.
Oh, he's no longer with you.
No.
Oh, okay.
Marissa is still with us, and Brian is still with us.
Okay, very good, very good. So right here on First Street, and we're going to engage in this. Bye for now.
Take care.
So we're still here with Chris, the spirits guide, although you describe yourself as something else other than a spirits guide.
I call myself an educator.
A spirits educator we'll go with.
That
and what do we have before us here? What's next?
This is the sacrilege. This is a traditional brandy that we age for multiple years in a bourbon barrel. It pulls in the flavors of the bourbon to within the brandy itself. It doesn't taste like your traditional brandies at all. It tastes like a light whiskey. Hence, sacrilege. That's why we call it sacrilege.
Very good, very good. And I used to drink that over at the distillery.
Yes.
At 2495 Stockton Street.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to the fire damage being repaired so we can get into the tiki bar again.
Yes. And actually, we're going to be expanding the Hollywood room.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be making the tour quite a bit longer. And we may even have barrel tastings and other fun things.
Very good. And you're still going to subject your visitors to the abuse they get while I'm sitting in the tiki lounge?
Absolutely. You're always welcome to be there. It's your home away from home, my friend.
Very good. Very good.
So
let's
this
get
is
a pour.
80 proof brandy.
Oh boy.
But like I say, it's not going to taste like a traditional brandy whatsoever. It tastes more like a light whiskey.
I like the 80 proof. Mark and I like to drink Lagavulin 16, and that's 80 proof.
There you go. You get much higher than that, and it becomes unpleasant to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Even knowing how to drink properly, it can still get a little unpleasant to drink. Once you get over about 100 proof, even drinking the correct way, the distiller's technique, can still be a little harsh.
Very good.
Take care,
nice.
ladies.
That's nice. That would go nice with a cigar.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And also, if you're somebody who has a grain allergy, believe that the actual proteins are broken down during the distillation process, so that bourbon flavor coming out, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Not a doctor, don't hold me to that, but you should be able to have that bourbon flavor. Let's say you can't drink whiskeys because of your grain allergies.
Very good. Well, I can't wait until we get on to our next tasting. We'll see you momentarily. So the tasting continues. We have Chris, our spirits educator, spirits guide, and we have one of my favorites, the Grand Californian, which if Grand Marnier was going to do a better job, this is what they would do. Tell us why that is, Chris.
Exactly. Once again, this is an aged traditional brandy, aged for multiple years in a barrel. We pull that out. put it in the vat, and we peel Valencia oranges for an entire week, and the distillery smells wonderful. We all get orange
And
juice.
I've seen Tim and Carlos.
Yep.
I've seen them peeling those things.
Absolutely. And we let them soak depending upon how long is the temperature, basically. If it's hot outside, it'll take less time. If it's cold outside, it's going to take more time for us to impart that flavor. Once that's done, we add a minimal amount of sugar, far less sugar than other brands,
A lot less.
far more orange than other brands,
Yeah.
and far more alcohol than other brands. This goes really, really well on top of a margarita. They call that a Cadillac. But what I like to do with it is I like to melt myself some dark chocolate chips. And then once that gets melted, I take my whiskey glasses, I rim it, and I let it drip into the glass, put it in the refrigerator or the freezer, let it re-solidify, pour this in, and as you drink it, that chocolate will come off and slough into your mouth and melt on your tongue.
I think that's illegal in all those red states.
Probably.
Yes.
Fun's illegal over there. We all know that. This is quite delicious. It's also one of the most dangerous things we make. And by that I mean ease to drink with being so high in alcohol.
Well, let me take a... Yeah, this is quite delightful.
It is, like I said, our head distiller Tim's favorite thing he makes.
That is really quite nuanced.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I think you could put a little bit of this at the bottom of your espresso cup.
You could do that as well, absolutely. This goes really well over ice cream, vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Another thing it really mixes well with is what I'm going to be doing next, which is going to be our Ancho Leon. Combining these two, you get our Ancho Leon is a peppery flavor.
Oh, yeah.
This and that with a little bit of the chocolate liqueur is fantastic.
Chris, you're such a tease. Okay, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thanks.
Stay with us. Yes, it's still John at the Bar Club with your spirits guide, Chris, with one of my favorite Napa Valley Distillery drinks, the Ancho Leon. Forget about Robitussin. If you're feeling a little poorly, this is much better than Robitussin. Tell us why, Chris.
Well, the peppers that we put in here, basically, once again, this is much like the Grand California, except of the orange peels, we're soaking smoked ancho peppers in it. This particular batch, we soaked a little bit longer due to a shortage of cork, so it got a little spicier than usual. But it will clear your sinuses out. Don't expect overwhelmingly, oh my God, my tongue's on fire, but expect the peppery spiciness that lingers for a little bit. Goes very, very well with chocolates. Very, 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 very well with the Grand California.
You know what? I'm going to shock you on this one. I think if you're making like linguine and clams or even linguine with mussels, you finish with a little bit of that and toss it, and you'll get the heat and a little bit of back sweetness.
Absolutely. You can actually make all kinds of sauces with this.
Yeah, and if you're having a little bit of bronchitis or a cold or a cough, you have some of that.
There you go.
It solves multiple problems.
Well, you know, I always found out the best thing that helped me with COVID was our bourbon. I always make a joke, bourbon cured me of it. I can't, say that it'll cure everybody, but it sure enough cured me.
That's right. So let's see a pour here.
Alrighty.
We have a pour coming?
Absolutely.
This sounds like
This is
really an educated spirit.
This one is much more cooperative than the
That last
other bottle.
was annoying me.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to revisit that one, as they say in the wineries.
Well, that pour is getting aced. Nice.
Oh, that is so good. And the heat is somewhat restrained.
Exactly. It's subtle.
Yeah, I mean, if you are adverse to heat, you'll feel it. But if you like that added palate component, you're really going to love the heat on this.
It's nice and it's sweet, and the heat, like you said, is not overwhelming. It's got just that. It has a slight, like dark chocolatey note, although there's no chocolate in it. I think that's from the smoke from the peppers.
Quite amazing.
Yep.
We are very happy with our Napa Valley Distillery Bar Club membership.
Awesome.
Very good. That's my hint. There's a little commercial in there. We'll see you on the next Spirit. Okay, so we're still at the Bar Club, Napa Valley Distillery. I see 4 empty glasses and 2 upside down glasses, and I see our wine spirits guide Chris holding a Negroni. Tell us about the Negroni.
It's the classic gin cocktail. It's a little on the bitter side for some people. Some people absolutely love it. Some people don't. As far as I know, we're one of the few who actually make some Negroni. You can see some that are pre-bottled, but this is, like I said, nothing like what you'll get in a store. This is the same Negroni you're going to get at our bar. Ooh, listen to that.
Very good. Well, this will cooperate a lot more than the pour 2 times ago. That's a nice color on that Negroni.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's in the Negroni?
This one's brandy, sweet vermouth, and Aperol.
Okay, it's the Aperol.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think the Aperol gives it that color.
And you serve this chilled.
Yes, it's better that way. Usually, when you make this, you're gonna shake it. This shit, any of our cocktails, I would recommend that you pre-chill them before you pour them. I'm not one for someone who likes ice in my drinks. Ice melts. I grew up in Florida, and the way it works in Florida, if you put ice in your drink and you turn in a circle,
Yeah.
it's melted.
Yeah.
So I grew up.
That's why I like the gigantic round ice cubes.
Yes, I grew up in my family. We had those aluminum cups. Remember those aluminum cups from the '70s? They had bright colors. Mm-hmm. We'd always put those in the freezer. And once they came out of the dishwasher, then they're ready to go. You pour your iced tea in there and chill it really quick.
That's it's nuanced. It's got a nice palate to
Yes.
it. There's a lot going on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not overly sweet and
Nope.
not overly hot.
And not overly bitter. It's balanced.
Yeah,
It's really well balanced.
that's right. You know, that just goes to show you our friend Tim. You know, he's like a blind squirrel. Even he finds an acorn every now and then.
Yes, true.
That's right. I hear he's coming back to make some more.
He is. He's working with us basically by commission now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the distillery, unfortunately, we had a fire, so we're rebuilding.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. And he
start
needs
manufacturing.
and he needs to get more tattoos, so he needs the money. You know.
He needs to come flying through the through the distillery with his skateboard again.
Oh, really?
I miss him.
Very good.
We're good friends. We chat quite often.
Oh, good. So far, I have almost 5 empty glasses. I see one more glass, so we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. We have 5 empty glasses, 1 glass about to be turned over and filled. You didn't know this about Spirits Guide Chris, but he is also a mad scientist. What kind of concoction are you going to put together for us today?
Well, I agree with the mad part. This is the lemon drop. The lemon drop is the #1 selling cocktail in the United States of America. When I found out we were making this, our head distiller came to me and said, "This is what we're doing." And I said, "What are we getting? A sorority, Tim?" And he goes, "No, just try it." And I did. And then I told him I hated him because it's that good. I didn't want to like it. I'm a bourbon guy. I didn't want to admit that I liked something that I considered foo-foo at the time, to be quite honest with you. This is made with California Meyer lemon juice, less sugar than most of your lemon drops, and with something that's basically vodka. It's called neutral brandy. Now, the reason we didn't have that as much sugar is because the Meyer lemon is actually a hybrid between a mandarin and a lemon. It actually has enough sugar in it already. We just have to add a little bit. It is quite delightful. It is our #1 selling pre-made cocktail. It is literally 64 proof lemonade.
Very good.
There you go.
So I'm going to take a little try of this, and then you're going to do
gonna
your
make it
mad.
even better.
You're going to do your mad scientist thing.
Absolutely.
Very acidic.
It's very easy to drink.
Yeah, very acidic. Not that sweet.
Best lemonade I ever had.
Isn't it nice? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into something that we call the Better Together. I'm going to add a blueberry neutral brandy. This is a neutral brandy, which is almost like vodka. It's almost vodka by the skin of the grape, is what I like to say. And we make our own blueberry elixir out of blueberries at the distillery. We don't add any extra sugar. And you're going to see how little I'm going to add. It's about a 5-to-1 ratio.
The blueberry brandy is very robust.
It is quite robust.
Very robust.
And it makes an amazing mule.
You get all blueberry on the nose.
Isn't that nice?
And it obliterates the lemon, but there's still the acidity there.
Exactly.
See, so for those of you that thought that Chris was just an extremely good-looking and charming but vacuous guy who didn't know anything, now you know that in addition to his charm and good looks, he knows
I'm
stuff.
not giving you anything for free anymore.
Okay, that is it for today.
Good to see you, John.
Thank you.